Alright, it's been quite a while, but I'm finally ready to discuss Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. I watched the Direct, and I watched all 9 parts of the Nintendo Treehouse Live playthrough. That's right, there was 9 freaking parts. In total, it was probably about 5 hours or more worth of Super Smash Bros. Ultimate that I've watched. So I think I'm pretty ready to give my thoughts on the game at this point. So the concept behind this game is pretty darn awesome, quite frankly. The concept is to try to bring every fighter that was ever in Super Smash Bros. Into this game. Because, a lot of fighters only appeared maybe once and disappeared. Or, they're always changing the number of fighters in it just because it's much easier to develop the game with less fighters. There's less balancing you have to do, less programming and stuff like that. So as you bring in new fighters, typically they would remove old fighters. But here they're putting every fighter that's ever been in the entire game. They're making every single one of those fighters available, which I think is an awesome concept. Because some people will get really good at a particular character, and then that character might be gone, and that kind of sucks. Personally, I've only played the 3DS and Wii U versions of the game. I never had a Wii U. I played it with someone else's house, and I played the 3DS version. So happy to know that all those characters will be there, though I didn't actually use them all in the first place. But anyhow, it's pretty awesome what they've done, and they've been able to pull this off because that's a lot of balancing that you have to take care of. So, I guess this game took a while. Who knows? But anyways, there are only going to be, unfortunately, 2 new characters that we know of so far. There aren't going to be that insanely many new characters, and he said that was because it took so much effort to bring every character ever into this game that they didn't have much resources or time left to work on adding new fighters, which is, that's okay. Personally, I think maybe I would rather have more fighters than, more new fighters than just bring back the old ones. But I know some people get really strong attachments to certain characters and want to be able to play as them. So I understand that, but I just personally think that it would have been better to have more new fighters. But the concept is still awesome, none the same. It's going to be a huge character roster, and it's going to be absolutely nuts. Now, one other thing to note is that they're not going to have every stage ever here, which is kind of unfortunate. I would probably much rather have every stage ever than every character ever. I get overwhelmed with a lot of characters, but a lot of different stages is just fun. But, that's just me. Everybody's a little bit different in that regard. Alright, so I just kind of want to talk about each character individually right now. Or, no, I just want to talk about the new characters individually. Sorry. If I talked about every character individually, we'd literally be here all day. But the 2 new characters, one of them is Ridley, which I did not even know was a character in any series. I had no idea what it was. I assumed it was like a third-party guest character, but apparently it is a new character from a Nintendo game. It is apparently from the Metroid series, or Ridley is from the Metroid series. So a lot of you Metroid fans are probably excited about this, or I already knew what Ridley was. Apparently, it is Samus's arch enemy, kind of like the Bowser of Mario, but it's Ridley of the Metroid series. I haven't played very much of any Metroid, which is funny because I usually main Samus in Super Smash Bros. I don't know why. I can just control. I do really well playing with Samus, even though I don't really play any Metroid games at all. But anyway, Ridley is, of course, a huge character. You can see he has the same movement and stuff. A little bit of a limited movement option because he's big and heavy, but he is able to dish out a good amount of damage. He can shoot the fireballs out of his mouth, giant fireballs, unlike they make Mario's little fireballs look kind of puny, and he also has this cool attack where he can just grab his opponent and just drag them across the ground and rack up damage that way, which is apparently something he does in boss fights in the Metroid series, which is really, really cool to see him do something like that. And I'm not sure. I believe he might have been able to fly a little bit. I don't actually remember. Obviously, he's not able to do that a lot because that would kind of be overpowered. But, it's a dragon, so he can actually do that a little bit, which is kind of interesting. But yeah, I think he's pretty cool. I definitely won't main him because I'm not very good at using the larger, bulkier characters. But it seems like he's able to dish out a whole lot of damage, which is really, really awesome. You can see right now just his attacks The fireball doesn't do all that much, but the dragging across the ground and the punches, he's able to rack a bunch of damage that way. And there you can see he's doing like a multi-shot fireball attack. I didn't study Ridley's moves all that much because I wasn't as excited about him as I was the other new character that we already knew about. But yeah, he looks like he's going to be a good character. So you guys let me know what you think about Ridley. Next character here, I want to talk about the Inkling. This is the one I'm most excited for. They at E3 they only announced two new characters for Smash Ultimate, brand new characters, and that's Ridley and Inkling. But of course, all the other characters that have ever been in Smash Bros. Are here. So there's a lot more to look forward to as well. A lot of characters that I haven't seen in a long time, and for a lot of people like me that are kind of newer to Smash Bros. Because Smash Bros. For 3DS is my first Smash Bros. Game. A lot of those characters are gonna feel like new to me. Even if you played them before, they're still gonna feel like new, even if they're old, because it's been so long since you played them. But anyhow, I just want to talk about the Inkling real quick because I'm really excited about this. And they did this character really, really well. When they first announced the Smash Bros. Ultimate, or at that point it was just Super Smash Bros. Uh, Game for Nintendo Switch, and they basically just said it was going to have Inklings in it. I saw no way they were going to make that work. It just didn't make any sense to me. But here I can see it actually makes sense. They made it work really, really well. The Inklings in this game are just as expressive, and they look exactly as they would, their mannerisms and everything, as in Splatoon, and Splatoon 2, which is really awesome. And so they still have the normal punch attack, but basically all of their other attacks are different weapons from the Splatoon and Splatoon 2 game. The iconic ones, you got the Splatter Shot, Roller, Blaster, and Slosher, which all kind of do their own special things. And they'll also ink up your opponent. They'll get them covered in ink. And it's an interesting mechanic I wasn't really expecting, that the more ink the opponent has on them, the more damage they'll take. And that's kind of reminiscent of in the actual Splatoon games. The more ink your opponent has on them, the easier they are to then splat, because basically they get covered in ink and then eventually just explode into exploding ink. And of course that's not going to happen in Smash, but you are able to rack up more damage while they got ink on them, which is an interesting mechanic I really didn't see coming. And like I said, you can see on the screen right now, they really did a really good job with making the Inkling cool. Like, its dash, it turns into a squid, just like you would be dashing through the ink in Splatoon, which is really, really awesome. They did everything very well. You can see its recovery, the up B recovery, is a super jump. So yeah, they really did a great job. I'm really impressed. And so, like I said, all the weapons kind of have their own special thing. The splatter shot's kind of long distance, and you can. The blaster actually shoots up, which is kind of strange, but they needed some weapon that will grab them and shoot up. And then you've also got the slosher, and that's a pretty nice one as well. And then, of course, there's the roller, which I think is really nice. It buries your opponent, which is kind of weird if you run over them, which is kind of weird. But I mean, it's okay. It's just another thing to make the Inkling kind of OP. And then of course you have the splat bombs for long distance attacking. You throw them, and after a second they explode. And I'm actually surprised that they have a pretty big, wide attack radius, and they do quite a bit of damage, more than I kind of thought that they would. And so, okay, yeah, the ink brush is a thing as well, I see. So you're probably wondering, like, what's in place to make sure that this isn't too overpowered, too OP. And that is the ink system. Just like Splatoon, you're going to have to watch your ink. And when you consume too much ink, you're going to have to swash down, or whatever you want to call that, and recover and fill your ink back up, which you apparently do by hitting the shield button and then B, which is kind of a weird button combination. That will take a while of getting used to, I think, to figure that out. But yeah, that's basically in place, because you can see all of Inkling's moves are very, very overpowered, if you will. And so you got to have the ink taken there, A, to make it feel more reminiscent of Splatoon, and B, to, kind of keep it balanced and fair. And you can see even its taunts, the Inkling's taunts, are just like your Booyah and stuff from Splatoon. So I think it's really a well-done character, and I'm really excited to get to play as an Inkling in Smash Bros. Ultimate. So yeah, I basically just wanted to give my thoughts for those two characters in specific there. since they're the ones that are brand new to Smash, have never been in Smash before, and so I wanted to give my thoughts on them. But of course, there are so many characters in this game. I could give my thoughts on the new changes and things like that that were given to some of these characters. I think pretty much every character has been changed in some way, whether that's just very, very discreetly or something very small or something very big, like where you can see right now Link's whole full redesign of his part of his moveset and his outfit. But I think a lot of the redesigns of the characters were very, very good. They've updated a lot of the character appearances so that they look like more modern incarnations of the character, if you will. A lot of the characters in Smash Bros. For 3DS, I noticed, were a bit outdated. They didn't feel right because I had played games in those series recently that the characters didn't look the same as they did in Smash. So I'm really happy they've updated the appearances of a lot of these characters and made them look a lot more like the recent iterations of those characters so that they actually feel like you're playing a character from that game and not just um, some random character from an older game, I guess. I'm not exactly sure. I could sit here all day and talk about the changes they made to old characters and how cool it is, but let's talk about some other not character related stuff. I mean, the main focus of this game is all the new character stuff, and that's pretty darn big, but there's a lot of other stuff to talk about here, and I want to give my thoughts on it. And I don't want this video to be like an hour long, so let's go ahead and move on to that. So next I want to talk about some of the new items real quick. And so the first new item in the game is this bomb thing, where basically it walks across the stage, and if you hit it, it does explode. It detonates on impact with weapon damage, so you gotta be careful. Then you hold it above your head when you activate it for a few seconds, giving your opponent a few seconds to swat it away from you or whatnot, and then it explodes in their face, and it does do enough damage to knock them right off the stage, and an instant KO, which is maybe a little bit overpowered in my opinion, but the game doesn't come out till December. They got some time to do balancing with that kind of thing. The second new item is the new Smash Ball, or the sideways Smash Ball. So the Smash Ball is what you hit to charge up your final smash, but this one's a fake one, kind of like the fake item boxes in Mario Kart, which are not actually a thing anymore, by the way, because it was so annoying and trolly. But this is even more annoying and trolly because it's just the Smash logo is rotated 90 degrees, so it's kind of hard to tell what exactly the difference is going on. So, yeah, I can see a lot of people, even myself most of the time, not paying that much attention and hitting a fake Smash Ball by accident. Luckily, the impact if you hit a fake Smash Ball is not enough to knock you off the stage. It just kind of does a little outward blast. It actually looks really cool for some reason and just does some damage to you and has some knockback. And now the next one that I think is a little weird that I think should have been in this game already, but it's just now in the game, is the banana peel. Basically, you grab it up, and you can fire the actual banana out of the banana peel like a gun, and it does some crazy knockback. It's actually kind of crazy considering it's a banana. Then you can throw the banana peel and have your opponent slip on it Mario Kart style. And then next, we'll talk about it while it's on the screen right now, and that is the launch star. Obviously taken from, I think it's Kirby that the launch star is from. Let me know if I had that wrong. Either Kirby or Super Mario Galaxy. I don't actually remember which one. But basically, I think it may have been both now that I think about it. I think there are Kirby games with it, and Mario Galaxy definitely had it too. Something like that. Came from a game, it doesn't really matter. And when you throw it, then every time an opponent jumps in it, it shoots them off in the opposite direction, which is a little bit of a confusing item. I don't see much practical application for it other than trolling people when they get off the stage. But I can see some people getting good strategies, I guess, and being able to use the launch star in very obnoxious, annoying ways. So I'm interested to see how that's going to play out in the future. And then there's also the black hole, which is basically you throw it and everything gets sucked into it, and it's held in that position while you beat them up. So yeah, that's kind of cheesy. But anyways, even items and players, everything gets stuck in it, except for you, so you can just sit there and beat them up, which is kind of fun, actually, I'm not going to lie. And then I'll save my personal favorite of all the new items for last, and that is the heal thingamajigger. I don't know what the official name is, but you throw it on the ground, and it creates a little healing area, kind of like in ARMS. If any of you have ever played ARMS, the healing radius in that, it works pretty much the same way as ARMS, actually, and you go and you stand in it, and you get healed. Well, duh, that's what the healing thing does. It reduces your damage percentage that you have stacked on your character as you use it, or as you stand in it, and it becomes this kind of king of the hill type thing of fighting to see who gets to stay in the healing radius, which is one of my favorite things in ARMS, is when that heal item shows up and you're fighting to see who can stay inside. And so having that in Smash will be pretty dang awesome. Now, my biggest concern about all these weapons, or not weapons, there aren't really weapons in this game. My biggest concern about all these items are that all these new items look pretty cool, especially the heal radius thingamajigger. But there are so many items in the game before, I don't think I ever got used to using any of the original items before. So I think it's just going to be even more confusing having more items in the game. So I'm hoping they do some balancing on like items that are more important showing up more, and items that are less important showing up less. Like for instance, there's some items in Smash for 3DS. There are a lot of items that don't need to show up a lot that show up a lot, and then some weapons that I think would be really cool to show up a lot and that don't really show up at all. I'm really hoping that heal spell shows up a lot more, because if you have all of the items enabled and they're all on equal spawn opportunity, that heal spell is not going to be showing up all that much. But I really hope the heal spell shows up a lot more, because that is a pretty awesome weapon. It can pretty awesome item. I don't know why I keep saying weapon. I'm playing too much Splatoon lately and covering too much Splatoon news. So you always talking about weapons, but we're talking about not weapons. We're talking about items in Super Smash Bros. But anyways, I really hope they do some balancing and have certain items appear more often than other items. I can go on all day talking about which items I think should appear more and which items I think should appear less. But the basic thing I have to say is pretty much all the new items look awesome. Obviously, the heal one is my favorite. I've said that a lot of times just now. I think it's really a game changer, and it's really going to be a lot of fun to play King of the Hill in. But the other items are decently okay. I think the Launch Star and Black Hole are just kind of pointless. The Banana and the Bomb are a little bit repetitive, and the Bomb might be a little bit overpowered. I think there are too many bombs in Smash already, and that one can knock you right off the stage. But anyways, we'll just have to get the game and see how it balances out with all the other items before I'll make a definitive statement about, what I kind of think about that. Anyways, my friends, that's where I think I'm going to go ahead and wrap up this video. There's a lot of stuff I could keep talking about if I wanted to, like so many new costumes on the characters, so many little changes that they've made to a lot of the characters to make them all feel new and fresh while still familiar at the same time. So many returning characters that have not been in the game for so long. I could sit here and we could talk about this game all day, but like I said, I wanted to keep this video short and concise and not like a whole hour long, so that's why I'm going to go ahead and cut it off here. But I'm interested to know down in the comments below what your thoughts are in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Obviously, this is a game that pretty much everybody will want to buy on launch day, whether they have the ability to buy on launch day, whether you have enough money to buy on launch day or not, or if the game's even available on launch day. If you're buying the digital version, the shop, I won't be surprised if the eShop crashes on launch day, and I won't be surprised if all the physical copies sell out on launch day. And, a lot of people aren't going to have enough money to dish out $60 for a game on launch day. To some of you, that might sound like a kind of crazy concept. And even to me, you guys know I'm not buying every single game when it comes out. I just don't have that much money. But, I could conjure $60 to buy this game on launch day. But I won't, because, I'm saving up a lot of cash to buy some more equipment for the channel to, better my content and that kind of thing. So I'm just going to wait and hopefully get this game for Christmas. It's only a few weeks after the game actually launches. So yeah, I'll go ahead and say that too. I probably won't have this game on launch day. It'll be a few weeks. I'm going to hopefully get it for Christmas. And, so then that way I don't have to waste $60 that I could have spent on equipment, because I'm really going to try to evolve this channel a little bit. That's definitely where I want to put most of my money. But anyways, let me know what your thoughts are going to be. Any thoughts that you might have other than this game is freaking awesome, I want to buy it on launch day. Maybe what you think about certain characters, what you think about the new items, what new characters maybe you want, because the new characters that were revealed here, there are rumors that these aren't it. There will still be other new characters added to the game as well. So Whichever ones you guys would like to see in the game, let me know in the comments. Just anything, let me know in the comments. I find it fun to read through you guys' comments and see what your thoughts are on things like this. And I will see you guys in another video pretty soon. Hopefully, I'll be, and it's been like a month and a half since E3, but I'm hopefully going to cover the rest of the announcements at E3 and what my thoughts were on those. So stay tuned, and I'm out of here.